Hello and welcome to the Dominion Daily for September 6th, 2025. It is Saturday, so we've got a full random kingdom today. And we've got a lot of trashing. So first of all, there's Cathedral. But there's also River Shrine, Apprentice, Change, and Junk Dealer. And then we've got Stables, City Quarter, Haunted Woods for draw. Also, Apprentice can draw. City Quarter is the only plus actions. Plus buy from Rice and Buried Treasure, and then all of the treasures will, the first time you play them, will give plus buy once Good Harvest is active. If Good Harvest is active, which if we play with Cathedral, it may well not be. But so I think the first question to be answered here is, do we want to play with Cathedral? The answer is usually yes. So you usually have to have like a pretty specific reason not to want to play with Cathedral. I mean, we don't have a 3/4, which does, like make it a little bit worse. Although, given that the 4s are also trashers, and we're not super likely to care about playing with a trasher like that with Cathedral, that probably doesn't matter too much. Like taking a silver would be fine. Before I get too much further on that, I want to look at how much is Rice going to be worth here. So maximally action, duration, attack, treasure, omen, but are you going to be playing a River Shrine every turn? So maybe only 4. Well, and then 5 with the first one would be worth 5 with if Good Harvest activates, but it won't activate if you don't get the omen. Okay. So not like a crazy amount of money. Good, but not insane. Anyway, I mean, ultimately what we'd like to do here is draw a bunch of cards with City Quarter, and then probably also like the payload's mostly treasures here. So probably also going to want to play with some stables, because like there's some positive interaction there where like the stables can help us find the City Quarter, and the City Quarters want actions. And then there's also Haunted Woods. Duration draw will make it easier to go off. That'll also help with Cathedral trashing if we're doing that. Which we probably are. I mean, I will admit to being tempted to skip Cathedral just because, like, A, there's so many other trashers. And B, like, it's just, it's always, like, nice not to have to deal with it after a certain point. But the fact remains that you get, like, it generates so much value early. And none of these trashers are super fast. Like, if, I don't know, if, like, Chapel was on the board or something, that'd be one thing. River Shrine is, like, decently fast. But also, like, the cards that you're going to gain, what are you gaining off of River Shrine? Like a silver. It's not that good. Change is slow. Junk Dealer and Apprentice we can't open with, so I think we do have to go for Cathedral, which maybe means I should just do that and then talk more about. Oh, the bot has a 2/5. Well, that's interesting. The bot's not going to go for Cathedral, but it's also not going for River Shrine, which means maybe we don't harvest good. Okay, so obviously we could just take another silver here. the only real alternative is to take a change. Thing is, we're gonna trash an estate next turn. And then we're gonna be down to one estate. Yeah, I just don't think that does much. Guess we're just getting silvers for the moment. It's fine. Alright. I think we want to start with a buried treasure here. We've got one estate down there, and we've got one silver. So we will hit 5 next turn. And actually, I don't really care about hitting 8. Maybe we get the buried treasure next turn. Right? I'm not crazy, right? We trash copper twice. So we have 5 coppers, 3 of them are down there. We have 1 more silver, and we have 1 estate, so we'll have 5. Yeah. What do you feel about getting starting with a haunted woods? Or a pair of them, but for now, the 1. Could be good. Next turn we get a buried treasure. I mean, I guess if we got a buried treasure now, we could get a rice next turn, but the rice isn't going to be that good yet. So, like, once we get haunted woods into our deck, then rice can be good, but right now it's not. So, yeah, I think haunted woods... I wonder if the bot just, like, doesn't play with Cathedral in general. I haven't really specifically registered that, but I mean, it doesn't come up that often. It's, like, only 1 card. Or not card, card-shaped object. Alright, yeah, let's get the buried treasure. Copper to rice. Their rice is going to be worth like 2 coins. That's bold. Alright, now we get another haunted woods. We pretty much draw a deck. And then here, we could go ahead and take the rice. So like I said, it's going to be worth 4 right now, and that's unless we ever get a river shrine. That's the most it's ever going to be worth. We got the buried treasure into play, so we will fully draw a deck. Okay. I wouldn't mind getting another buried treasure and having a pair of those going. Maybe... Buried treasure is only marginally worse. Has only marginally worse output than rice. Obviously, it has the problem of you only get to play it every other turn. But just like in terms of the numbers I have right now, it's like 15. Well, maybe it makes sense to just go something like double buried treasure stables. Maybe we don't end up playing with City Quarter on this board after all. I mean, the main reason to play with City Quarter as opposed to just getting stables is so that we can play with change. But do we care about playing with change, right? Like, maybe not. I think I like the double buried treasure stables. We don't super need the stables right now, as you can see, but we will. Okay, now we could take another rice, another buried treasure. Just take another buried treasure? Like, do we need another stables yet? Probably not. At what point do we just start greening? We could definitely take more stables before we do that. Eh. What? Well, it's always a sign that the bot doesn't know what to do if that happens. Okay, I think we have... we've missed our last copper here. Not the end of the world. We could... I'm not going to do it now, but we could buy copper periodically to have something to trash. I guess the other thing we could do with City Quarter is have like more haunted woods and thus more draw, but I don't know that that's all like really worth it. All right, we definitely are going to want another stables coming up here. Another rice. Obviously we need duration balance, so that means another buried treasure. And I could actually count out the draw and see where we are. We need to draw these 4 cards. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we start with 8, and then the 2 stables increase our hand by 1. So actually, right now we're like at an exact draw. So we could just take another buried treasure for now. Sure, why not? Having all the buried treasures doesn't seem like a bad thing. Ah. Okay. The rice. The buried treasure. Another stables. These piles are actually getting low. I mean, certainly not low to where I'm like worried the bot is going to pile out, but I'm wondering if we can or should try to set ourselves up for a pile out. Maybe we should take go ahead and take copper, and then we can, if we like go one more buried treasure, stables, and we can take another copper. It gives us trashing fire, but also like it gives us like a little bit more money that we have the capability to draw because we took the extra stables. I don't know. Whatever. No! I wanted that. My duration balance. How dare you? Oh no! Still not quite at that point. Wait, did they trash that curse? They did. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and take a province. Just a little bit of insurance. Other stables. Other rice. Other stables. Take a silver? No reason to take copper over silver, obviously. I don't know. Oh, we bottom decked 3 stables. Like, that was pretty remarkable. Okay, I got a couple provinces. Hmm. Not the ideal shuffle to trigger, or do we have another stables down there? We might. Yeah, okay. Alright. Can we win here? We need province estate, that's 10, which leaves us at 23. And this is 24. Damn it! Oh, we can we win on estates? We don't have the buys. Obnoxious. One buy short. Like, we easily have the money for 2 stables and 8 estates, but we don't have the buys. Dang it! Alright, well... I mean, if we just get 4 provinces here, we'll probably be in pretty good shape, I would say. Definitely not going to take a copper now. Okay, so never mind about the city quarter stuff. I don't know if I could have ended that like any faster or more gracefully or whatever. Like, I think you could definitely argue I should have just started greening earlier. That like at a certain point my turns weren't really getting any better. But there was also not really no pressure to like start greening and then potentially like miss the haunted woods and dud, which we almost did anyway, thanks to bottom decking the 3 stables. But I guess like if for us to have not seen those stables and not seen the haunted woods would have been incredibly unlikely. It would have, yeah, it was already unlikely the way that it happened, but it was, yeah. Anyway, because like if you don't see the haunted woods, then that makes it more likely you see one of the stables, and then you do see the haunted woods, like sort of thing. But yeah, I think I don't know. I think in the end it would not have made sense to invest in City Quarter just to get more haunted woods or something like that. I think just getting a bunch of stables was the way, and yeah, we could have potentially started greening earlier, but I think like there was no pressure, so I think it makes sense the way that I did it. I was a little surprised that the bot had as good of a turn as it did here. So it managed to get a province and then buy another province. And then it got a city quarter. I guess it only paid off 6. Yeah, okay. I was thinking like, could it have actually won off of that? Like, but no, I wasn't actually even close. Which I didn't think it would be, right? I was like, yeah, the bot stack isn't good enough to like, you know, to empty these piles and also take a points lead, surely, right? And I mean, it was. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. These are expensive piles to empty, like, so maybe if I hadn't dudded, semi-dudded, I mean, it wasn't really a dud, but maybe if I had not bottom decked was it this turn? Was it this turn? What turn was it? Well, it wasn't that one. When was the turn? I bottom decked the 3 stables, and then... I'm confused. I know this happened. Like, where is it? That's not it. That's not it. This is it. Okay, so right here, we ended up buying province, double stables, rice, silver. If we had seen this rice, and maybe more importantly, gotten this buried treasure into play, like that's what I was thinking about, is like then the next turn, maybe we have enough reach. So like on turn 14, maybe we could have ended the game instead of taking 4 provinces if we had not bottom decked 3 stables and had seen that other rice and that stables. Seeing the rice wouldn't have necessarily made too big. Well, actually, no, it would have, because we ended up buying a silver. We see the rice. This could be another rice for one thing, and then obviously the buried treasure the next turn we would have gotten the money for. I mean, it doesn't really matter, obviously, but it's just, you know, it felt like, you know, as big as my turns are, I should be able to, like, you know, secure this game more fully, and that probably would have helped, but whatever. Anyway, in conclusion, Cathedral is good, and even though, I don't know, maybe other people don't feel this way, I always have this, not always, some boards like it's the only trashing or whatever, it's super obvious, but a board like this, where there's like other trashing options, there's always this temptation. You're like, can I skip Cathedral and then not deal with having to trash stuff in the late game? But no, you can't. It's just too much better. Like, where was so the bot still had 3 coppers. It also just had like less stuff in its deck. I don't think there's going to be an easy way to like look back through the log and say like, oh, you know, at this point the bot had like this exact composition of their deck, but like I got all the starting cards out of my deck very quickly and was just playing like a bunch of good stuff, and the bot, well, it wasn't doing that, you know? So Cathedral's good. Anyway, the bot had 2-5, which is the worst possible opening on this board, surely. Well, I guess 5-2. 5-2, you could still open Cathedral nothing if you wanted to. I'm not sure. You probably, yeah, that is probably correct. So yeah, I think 2-5 is definitely worse, or worst. 5-2 is probably bad, but it, like, because you probably still end up opening Cathedral, but it is better. You get to trash a card before the shuffle. If you have the 5 or the 2-5, maybe it's correct to open with a 5 and then buy Cathedral on turn 3. I don't know. It's rough. That probably would be okay. But yeah. So the bot did have a rough opening, but I feel like I've seen the bot skip Cathedral anyway, so I don't know that it would have gone for it. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.